Space was silent, but everyone felt it. Across the Orion Reach, thousands of alien ships floated in a perfect war formation, massive carriers, sharp battle cruisers, glowing energy weapons ready to fire. The Galactic Alliance had come together. For the first time in history, dozens of species stood united. They had only one goal: destroy the last human colony. Humans were weak. That is what every empire believed. They had lost most of their worlds decades ago. Their fleets were small, old, and badly damaged. Many alien leaders called humans a dying race. Some even laughed at the idea that humans could fight back. Today was supposed to be the final blow. Admiral Korth of the Vrax Empire watched from the command deck of his ship. His yellow eyes narrowed as he stared at the blue planet below. Scan. Results? He asked. His officer replied, only small defense stations, Admiral. No major human fleet detected. Korth smiled. Good. Then this will be quick. The Alliance fleet moved closer. Plasma cannons warmed up. Missiles locked on. The human colony had no chance. On the planet, people looked up at the sky. They saw thousands of enemy ships blocking the stars. Children cried. Soldiers stood ready, though they knew it was useless. General Hayes, leader of the Human Defense Force, watched from a bunker. We can't stop them. His officer whispered. Hayes nodded slowly. I know. Then suddenly, every sensor in space screamed. Alarms exploded across alien ships. What is that? Great H shouted. A massive energy wave appeared behind the planet. Space itself twisted. Light bent. Reality cracked open like glass. A huge black shape began to appear. It was not coming from hyperspace. It was not using a warp gate. It was uncloaking. Slowly, terrifyingly. A gigantic warship revealed itself. It was bigger than any ship the Alliance had ever seen. Black armor covered its hull, glowing red lines pulsing like living veins. Two enormous cannons glowed bright blue at the front. A massive red energy ring surrounded part of the ship. Spinning slowly, the ship felt ancient. Powerful. Alive. What is that? An alien commander whispered. No one answered. The unknown ship fully uncloaked. Space around it vibrated from its power. Small asteroids were pulled toward it, then crushed into dust. General Hayes stared in shock. That's impossible. His officer asked, Sir, is that ours? Hayes swallowed hard. Yes. The entire bunker went silent. This is the Aegis, Hayes said quietly, the last Titan-class warship. The officer's eyes widened. But, sir, they said it was destroyed in the old war. Hayes shook his head. No, it was hidden, waiting. In space, Admiral Korth felt fear for the first time. Scan that ship, he ordered. The officer's hands shook. Admiral, its energy output is off the scale. We cannot read its full power. How many ships? Great H demanded. Only one. The officer replied. Korth laughed nervously. One ship against our entire fleet. Fire at will. Hundreds of alien ships opened fire. Plasma beams, energy missiles, ion blasts filled space. A storm of destruction rushed toward the human warship. The Aegis did not move. The attacks hit its shields. Nothing happened. Not a scratch. The alien fleet froze. Impossible. Someone whispered. The Aegis finally responded. Its twin cannons glowed brighter. Then the blue beams shot forward. They cut through space like knives. One enemy carrier exploded instantly. Another ship was sliced in half. Shockwaves spread across the fleet. Alien commanders shouted in panic. Shields up. Pull back. Return fire. The Aegis moved slowly, like a predator waking up. Red energy lines pulsed across its hull. Smaller turrets opened fire, destroying enemy ships one by one. The Alliance fleet broke formation. Fear spread. This is not possible. Great H shouted. Humans are weak. How can they have this on the human planet? People watched in disbelief. The sky burned with enemy explosions. They're winning, a soldier whispered. General Hayes spoke softly. No, they're reminding the galaxy. Inside the Aegis, Captain Ellen across stood on the bridge, calm, focused. All weapons online. Her officer said, enemy fleet in full retreat. Ellen nodded. Good. Do not chase them yet. The officer looked confused. Why not, Captain? Because this is only the beginning, Elena said. They need to run. They need to tell everyone what they saw today. She looked at the burning wrecks on the screen. Let the galaxy remember. She whispered. In space. Admiral Korth ordered a retreat. Fall back. Emergency warp. His fleet scattered, fleeing in every direction. The Aegis did not follow Dot. It simply watched Dot as the last enemy ship escaped. The human warship powered down slightly. Its red glow dimmed, but its presence still filled space. On the planet, people cheered. Some cried. Some fell to their knees. General Hayes smiled for the first time in years. They thought we were finished, he said. They were wrong. Far across the galaxy, fleeing alien ships sent emergency messages to their empires. Human warship, unknown class, unstoppable. We were defeated. The message spread. Fear spread. For the first time in history, the galaxy was afraid of humans. And this was only the start. The news spread like fire across the galaxy. Every empire received the same emergency message. Human warship sighted. Unknown class, extreme power, fleet destroyed, retreat advised. On the crystal world of the Zorith Dominion, the High Council gathered in panic. Tall insect-like beings clicked their jaws in fear. Their glowing eyes reflected the hologram of the human warship. This cannot be real, one elder said. Humans lost their technology centuries ago. Another replied, our fleet was destroyed by a single ship. Explain that. Silence filled the chamber. On the ocean planet of the Meridians, their leaders watched recordings of the battle. The blue beams slicing through warships, the shields that could not be broken. They hid this from us, the Meridian Queen whispered. They waited. Across the galaxy, fear replaced pride. Meanwhile, on the human colony world, celebrations filled the streets. People hugged each other. Soldiers removed their helmets and cried. Children pointed at the sky, where the massive warship still floated. Like a guardian, General Hayes walked through the command center. Officers cheered as he passed. We're alive because of that ship, one said. Hayes nodded. Yes, but this victory will bring bigger storms. Inside the Aegis, Captain Elena Cross studied the galaxy map. Her face was serious. We have revealed ourselves, her officer said. Every empire will react now. Elena crossed her arms. That was the plan. But Captain, another officer asked, why now? Why not earlier? Elena took a deep breath. Because humanity was not ready before. We were broken, divided, weak. But now we learned. She looked at the crew. We survived extinction. We rebuilt in secret. We improved. Today, the galaxy saw only one ship. She paused. They don't know about the others. The crew exchanged shocked looks. Others. Someone whispered. Elena smiled slightly. Yes, this was only the first Titan. Back in alien space, Admiral Grade H arrived at his homeworld. His ship was badly damaged. Leaders waited for him. You fled, a council member said angrily. Grade H slammed his fist on the table. You would have fled too. That ship is a monster. Humans are insects. Another leader said. We crushed them before. Cora shook his head. Not anymore. They changed. That ship, it watched us. It could have destroyed us all, but it didn't. Why? The council asked. Because they wanted us to run, Korath replied. They wanted fear to spread. Silence followed. On Earth's hidden shipyard in deep space, massive structures floated in darkness. Humans worked silently. Enormous warships were under construction. General Hayes arrived via shuttle. He met with the high command. The Aegis revealed itself. Hayes said, the galaxy is panicking. A general smiled. Good, but they will unite against us. Another warned. Hayes nodded. Yes, at this time, we will be ready. On the Aegis, Elena received a transmission. Captain, the voice said, alien fleets are regrouping. Some empires want peace. Others want revenge. Elena closed her eyes. Expected, she said. Prepare a broadcast. Her officer looked surprised. To whom? To everyone. Moments later, the Aegis sent a message across no space. Every empire received it. A human figure appeared on their screens. Captain Elena Cross. This is Captain Elena of the human warship Aegis, she said calmly. We do not seek war, but we will not be hunted anymore. Her eyes were cold. You attacked our last colony. You tried to erase us. She paused. You failed. We stayed silent for decades. You thought we were weak. You were wrong. Her voice became stronger. Leave our worlds. Do not touch human space again. If you come, we will respond. The message ended. Across the galaxy, leaders sat in fear. Some argued for peace. Some demanded war. But none laughed anymore. On a distant alien world, a secret fleet commander watched the recording. His red eyes burned with hate. So, humans, Want to play gods now? He growled. Prepare the Shadow Armada. Back on the Aegis. Alarms suddenly sounded. Captain, an officer shouted. Multiple fleets forming at the border. Elena turned to the screen. Hundreds of enemy ships gathered far away. They're testing us, she said. Should we fire? The officer asked. Elena shook her head. Not yet. She leaned forward. Let them come closer. As the alien fleets moved, Elena whispered, the real war starts now. The alien fleets moved closer. Hundreds of warships from different empires gathered near human space. They did not attack yet. They watched. They waited. Inside the Aegis. Captain Elena Cross stood silently. Her crew followed every movement on the screens. They are scared, her officer said, but fear makes them dangerous. Elena nodded. That is why we stay calm. On Earth's secret command station, General Hayes watched the same feed. They are testing us, he said. Looking for weakness, a young officer asked, should we send reinforcements? Hayes shook his head. Not yet. Let them see only one ship, back near the border. The alien fleets finally stopped. The commanders opened a secure channel. A tall reptilian alien appeared on screen. Human captain, he said. You stand alone. Leave this region or face destruction. Elena looked at him calmly. You brought hundreds of ships, she replied, and you still feel the need to threaten one. The alien growled. Your tricks will not save you. Elena smiled slightly. Tricks, she said. You have seen nothing. She turned to her crew. Activate phase 2. The officer hesitated. Captain, they are watching. Good, Elena said. Let them. The Aegis began to glow. Red. Energy lines brightened. The massive ring around the ship spun faster. Space trembled. What is happening? Alien commanders shouted. Then space itself opened. 1, 2, 3, 10 portals appeared. Gigantic warships emerged. Black holes. Red energy veins. Same design as the Aegis. The alien fleets froze. Multiple Titan-class ships detected. An officer screamed. The humans had an entire fleet. The new ships moved into formation behind the Aegis. Captain Elena spoke calmly. You are not facing one ship. She paused. You are facing humanity. Panic exploded across alien channels. This is impossible. They built a fleet in secret. Fall back. But it was too late. Some alien commanders panicked and fired. Plasma beams rushed toward the human ships. The human shields activated. The attacks did nothing. Elena sighed. They never learn. Return fire, she ordered. The human fleet answered. Blue beams cut through space. Enemy ships exploded. Entire squadrons vanished in seconds. The alien fleets broke formation. Ships crashed into each other while trying to escape. Some jumped to hyperspace blindly. Others were destroyed before they could flee. On Earth, people watched in shock. They have more, a soldier whispered. So many more. General Hayes smiled. This is why we survived. Back in space, a massive alien dreadnought tried to charge its main weapon. Captain, an officer shouted, enemy superweapon powering up. Elena nodded. Target it. 3 human ships focused fire. The dreadnought exploded in a massive fireball. Silence followed. Only burning wrecks remained. The alien fleets were gone. Human ships stayed in formation. Elena turned to her crew. Broadcast again. Her face appeared on every alien screen. This was your warning, she said. You crossed our border. We defended ourselves. Her eyes hardened. Next time, we will not stop. The transmission ended. Across the galaxy, fear reached a new level. Humanity was not just alive. Humanity was powerful on a dark alien world. The commander of the Shadow Armada watched the battle recording. He smiled slowly. Good, he whispered. Now the real fun begins. Back on the Aegis, Elena looked at the stars. This victory will bring bigger enemies, she said quietly. Her officer nodded. But we are ready. Elena smiled. Yes, we are. The galaxy went quiet, not because there was peace, but because everyone was afraid after the human fleet destroyed the border forces. No empire dared to attack again. Trade routes changed. Military ships hid. Old enemies stopped fighting each other. All of them watched human space. On Earth's command station, General Hayes walked into a dark meeting room. Only a few leaders were present. The Shadow Armada is real, one general said. Our spies confirmed it. Hayes nodded. We always knew someone would come. They are different. Another officer said. They don't belong to any empire. They destroy worlds for sport. A scientist added. They wiped out 3 civilizations. Silence filled the room. So they are coming for us, Hayes said calmly. Yes, the officer replied. They want to test human power. Back on the Aegis, Captain Elena Cross stood at the observation deck. Stars slowly moved outside. Captain, her officer called. We picked up strange signals. Elena turned. Show me. The screen displayed unknown ships. Dark, sharp shapes. No energy signature like normal ships. They are using stealth tech, the officer said. Better than anything we have seen. Elena's eyes narrowed. That must be them. Suddenly, space around the human fleet twisted. Shadow ships appeared without warning. Dozens. Then hundreds. They surrounded the human fleet. Red alert. An officer shouted. We are surrounded. Elena stayed calm. Open channel. A tall alien with burning red eyes appeared. His armor was black like space itself. I am Lord Vraction, he said, commander of the Shadow Armada. You are human, he continued. Interesting. Elena looked straight at him. You crossed our border, she said. Leave. Vraction laughed slowly. I did not come to leave, he replied. I came to see if humans are worth killing. He raised his hand. Attack. The Shadow Armada fired. Their weapons were different. Dark energy beams ripped through space. Human shields shook. Captain, an officer shouted. Shields losing. Power. Elena clenched her fists. Return fire. The human fleet fired back. Some shadow ships exploded, but many dodged easily. They are fast, the officer said. Too fast. One shadow ship crashed into a human cruiser. Both exploded. First human ship lost. The bridge went silent. Elena closed her eyes for a second. Stay focused, she said. Target their engines. Human ships changed tactics. They aimed for movement. Systems. Several shadow ships slowed down. Then exploded. But the enemy kept coming. Vraction watched calmly. So humans can fight, he said. Good. He raised his hand again. Released the beasts. Huge black ships opened. Strange creatures flew out. Living weapons. They attacked human ships, biting into holes. Tearing metal. Biological weapons. An officer screamed. Elena's eyes widened. They used living soldiers. Human crews fired at the creatures. Space filled with fire. Blood froze and vacuum. The battle became chaos. On Earth, alarms sounded. Human fleet is under heavy attack. Someone shouted. General Hayes watched in silence. They finally showed their true face, he said. Back in space, the Aegis took heavy hits. Shields at 30%. An officer yelled. Elena took a deep breath. Activate Omega Protocol. The bridge froze. Captain, that is forbidden, her officer said. Elena looked at him. Today, it is needed. Authorization confirmed. The Aegis began to glow bright red. The massive ring around it spun faster than ever. Space shook violently. Vraction's eyes widened. What is that? Elena whispered. Human last weapon. A massive energy wave exploded from the Aegis, all shadow. Creatures turned to dust. Several enemy ships were pushed back. The battlefield went silent. Vraction stared in shock. Interesting, he whispered. But he smiled. So you have secrets too. He turned away. Retreat. The Shadow Armada vanished. In the darkness, human ships stayed alert. Captain, an officer asked. Why did they leave? Elena looked at the stars. They were testing us. She clenched her fist. And now, they know we are worth hunting. On Earth, General Hayes sighed. This war just became real. He said. In deep space. Vraction laughed. Prepare everything, he ordered. The hunt begins. The invasion began without warning. Thousands of Shadow Armada ships appeared near human colonies. They did not speak. They did not threaten. They attacked. Civilian stations exploded. Defense satellites were destroyed in seconds. Human fleets rushed to respond, but the enemy was faster. On Earth's command station, alarm screamed. Now stop. Colony 7 is under attack. Outer defenses destroyed. We are losing contact with Alpha Base. General Hayes stood still, watching the chaos. They are not playing anymore, he said. This is a real war. Back on the Aegis, Captain Elena Cross received multiple distress signals. So many. Her officer whispered. Elena clenched her jaw. Split the fleet, she ordered. Protect the colonies. Evacuate civilians first. Human warships rushed across space. Battles erupted everywhere. Shadow ships swarmed like insects. They're living. Weapons tore into human hulls. Explosions lit up space like burning stars. On Colony 7, people ran through the streets, get to the shelters. Soldiers shouted. Shadow creatures landed. They attacked civilians. Screams filled the air. Suddenly, blue beams cut through the sky. Human fighters arrived. They destroyed the creatures. People looked up in hope. The fleet is here. Someone cried. Back in space, the battle grew worse. Human losses increased. Captain and officers shouted. We lost 3 cruisers. Elena closed her eyes for a second. Keep fighting, she said. They must not reach Earth. Suddenly, a massive shadow Armada ship appeared, bigger than anything before. Enemy flagship detected. The officer yelled. The ship fired a dark beam. A human destroyer vanished. Gone. No explosion. Just gone. Elena whispered. What weapon is that? Her officer answered. Some kind of space eraser. Fear spread on the bridge. Captain, he said. If that hits us, Elena interrupted. It won't. She stood tall. All ships focused fire on the flagship. Human fleet fired together. The shadow ship shields cracked. Fraction appeared on screen. You fight well, he said. But you are tired. Elena stared at him. You kill civilians, she said. That makes you weak. Fraction laughed. Mercy is weakness. He raised his hand. The flagship charged again. Captain, the officer screamed. We cannot. Stop it, Elena whispered. Now. Suddenly, space behind the flagship opened. Another human fleet arrived. Bigger. Stronger. New warships with golden lights and heavier armor. Fraction's smile faded. More. He growled. General Hayes appeared on screen. Meet the second fleet, he said calmly. Human ships fired. The flagship exploded in a giant fireball. Shadow ships panicked. They destroyed the command ship. Fall back. The Shadow Armada retreated again. But this time, they were angry. On Earth. People cheered. But Hayes did not smile. They are learning, he said. They will come back worse. Back on the Aegis, Elena looked at the damage. Reports. We lost many, her officer said. Elena nodded slowly. But we saved more. She looked at the stars. This war will not end fast. In deep space, Fraction watched the burning wreck. Humans. He whispered. His eyes burned with hate. Prepare the final plan. The galaxy held its breath. After the failed invasion, the Shadow Armada disappeared again. No attacks, no signals, no movement. But humans knew the truth. This silence was dangerous. On Earth's command station, General Hayes stood before a large hologram of space. They are hiding, he said. Planning something big. Captain Elena Cross joined the meeting through hologram. Our scouts found empty systems, she reported. Entire star sectors, wiped clean. The room went silent. Wiped. A general asked. No ships, Elena said. No planets. No stars. Fear filled the room. They are eating systems, a scientist whispered. Using them as fuel. Hayes clenched his fists. For what? Elena looked down. For a super weapon. Days later, human scouts discovered it. A massive structure. Hidden in dark space. Bigger than a planet. Black metal covering it like armor. A dead star trapped inside its core. This is impossible. An officer whispered. They turned a star into a bomb, Elena said quietly. The weapon began to power up. Energy waves shook nearby space. They planned to destroy Earth. A scientist shouted. On Earth. Emergency sirens wailed. Civilians rushed to underground shelters. Ships prepared for evacuation. General Hayes addressed the people. We will fight, he said, no matter the cost. The human fleet rushed toward the weapon. Every ship, every fighter, even damaged cruisers. They formed the largest human force ever. Captain Elena stood on the Aegis bridge. This is it, she said. Today we end this. Shadow Armada ships appeared to protect the weapon. Thousands of them. The largest battle in history began. Space turned into fire. Explosions everywhere. Human ships fought bravely, but the enemy was too many. Shields failing. Engine hit. We lost contact with Squadron 5. Elena gritted her teeth. Hold the line. Suddenly, the super weapon started glowing. Captain, an officer screamed. It is charging. Time was running out. Fraction appeared on screen. You should be proud, he said. You made it this far. Elena stared at him. You will not touch Earth. Fraction smiled. Watch. The star inside the weapon burned brighter. Elena whispered. There is one last option. Her officer looked at her. No. Captain, you can't. She smiled softly. This is what I was made for. She turned to the crew. You are all heroes. The crew froze. Prepare evacuation pods, Elena ordered. Now, Captain, someone cried. Come with us. Elena shook her head. The Aegis was built for this. She activated a secret system, overload core. The ship began to glow. What are you doing? Fraction shouted. Elena looked at him. Ending you. The Aegis rushed toward the super weapon. Enemy ships tried to stop it. Human fleet protected it, sacrificing themselves. Explosions surrounded the Aegis, but it kept moving. Distance closing. An officer yelled. Elena whispered, goodbye. She closed her eyes. The Aegis slammed into the weapon's core. White light filled space. Everything went silent. Silence filled space. No explosions. No light. Only darkness. Then slowly stars returned. The human fleet waited. Broken ships. Burning wrecks. Empty space where the super weapon once existed. It's gone. An officer whispered. The massive structure had vanished. The Shadow Armada ships were gone too. Only dust remained. On Earth, people waited in silence. No one spoke. No one moved. General Hayes stood near the screen. Scan results. He asked quietly. An officer swallowed. The weapon is destroyed. Cheers exploded across the command room, but Hayes did not smile. And the Aegis? He asked. Silence. No signal, the officer said. No debris. Hayes closed his eyes. She did it. He whispered. Captain Elena Cross was gone. She had sacrificed everything, but she saved Earth. She saved humanity across the galaxy. Something strange happened. Shadow Armada ships began to shut down. Some drifted in space. Others crashed into planets. Their command system was destroyed. Fractions. Throne ship floated powerless. He screamed in rage. No, this is not possible. His empire collapsed. The hunter became the hunted. Alien empires watched in shock. The Shadow Armada defeated. By one human ship. By one human captain. On Earth, a message was broadcast. This is General Hayes, he said. Captain Elena Cross gave her life for humanity. She saved us all. She is our hero. People cried. Children looked at the stars. They would remember her name. A year later, humanity changed. No more hiding. No more fear. Human fleets explored the galaxy, but they did not conquer. They helped. They protected. They became guardians. Alien empires sent peace treaties. They bowed to humans. Not in fear, but in respect. On a distant planet, a statue stood, a woman in uniform, looking toward the stars. Her name engraved below. Captain Elena Cross, savior of humanity. General Hayes stood before it. We are still here, he said softly, because of you. Above, human warships flew peacefully. No weapons firing. No war. Only hope. And far in deep space, a small light appeared. A ship. Old. Damaged. A familiar voice whispered. Signal. Weak, but alive. Inside. Elena opened her eyes. She smiled. Guess I'm not done yet. The legend had just begun.